Yo, check out this clip from the pre-patch podcast.
The expansion being announced for Elden Ring, we also got a expansion for another game that, oh my god, is getting so much hate. Destiny Lightfall. Destiny, if you're not familiar with what Lightfall is, Destiny 2, it's the newest expansion for the Destiny franchise. And it's so the hype around expansions and something like this, I think brings a lot. I almost got like I am literally on the fence about wanting to play this game. Like again, I love like WoW does it. I think Blizzard does a great job with like their trailers and things like that. I think Bungie does a great job with like bringing their trailers and things like that to make you want to play the game. But holy shit, man, the community is just cannibalizing the fuck out of this game, like out of this expansion. Like,
yeah, I mean, mostly negative. If you hover that, it's a 30% positive reviews.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's
out of almost 3,000 reviews.
The reason that I'm bringing this up is, I mean, it's making me. I'm literally at a loss for words almost. But is it like? Do you think that Bungie can win here? I mean, do you think like that they have a winning path forward? Because I read the reviews and people are like, this is just you're just rehashing old content. The story sucks. It is the game is turned into a grind fest. Other things talk about how this is a $50 expansion that has, fucking 2 to 3 hours worth of campaign content. Like,
Everything you're saying, I feel like that's always what I've just thought of Destiny. Like, is it now just people are starting to realize and see the hints that like?
I think it's just people are starting to get sick of it. Like they're starting to not accept it as much because we had the same conversation when
which
not the expansion, the last expansion, but the expansion before that we had the same conversation. That like literally people were just pissed off that it was just rehashed content from.
Yeah, I mean that's really what gives me no desire at all to play Destiny is and the grind as well on top of it. Like it's just such a time sink that I don't want to waste my time doing just the same stuff over and over again. And if all these DLCs is just that, then what's the fucking point?
Well, I don't. So to me, that's actually the point where I'm kind of like, all right, like I'm in. I get it. Like I like the grind. I like the. I mean, look. What do you think an MMO is? Like an MMO is literally the same shit over and over
What's
again.
an MMO without players though? After this season,
I mean, look. Here's what I'll tell you about the Destiny community. No matter how
they're
much
not
they want to
give up on their game, they're gonna keep playing the entire time.
They are rapidly going to like chew off the fucking toes, feet, and legs of Bungie, but at the same time, just throw money at them like it's no tomorrow.
Because not only that, they'll sit there and complain and as you said, rapidly chew the fucking toes, arms, and legs off of Bungie. But on top of that, if you say anything bad about Bungie, they will rip your fucking face off.
But they're allowed to say whatever they want.
They're allowed to say whatever the fuck they want to. But if you say anything,
you can say the exact same thing, and they'll be like, "No, you shut the fuck up."
Yeah, they're like, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
No, the one thing that I will say about this, and there's another game that I want to bring up with the mostly negative reviews that came out this week, but the thing that I think is a big problem for Destiny 2 is their model, like their business model. I don't think sets up a way that is beneficial because just like it's $100 for Destiny 2 Lightfall and all of the seasons, right? So their business model is the game's free to play. You can play as much of the content that you want for free, minus the expansions and the seasons. If you want that, you got to pay for them. And so I'll scroll down, on here since we are live, we can see this, right? So $50 for Lightfall. It does not in any other MMO, which fucking Destiny fans will berate you and tell you that Destiny is not an MMO, but this is an MMO. Like it's an MMO. Like I don't give a fuck what you call it. It's an MMO. That's what it is. Any like Blizzard, all this. If you buy the MMO previously, you get the other ones. Like you get the ones before that. Like very few companies are like you got to pay for everything. They not only go and say you got to pay for all the expansions, but they then tell you, where is it at? Here you go. They then go and say you've got to buy this expansion, this expansion, this expansion, this expansion, and all of the seasons on top of those expansions. I looked at it, it was like $340. Let me see. Here it is.
That's crazy.
$305.64. Now you are getting
well-
like this is including the emote bundles and the silver bundle. So we'll take that out. That's $30 there. But the rest of this shit is not. So 200 and some odd dollars worth of having to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like
what I'll also point out, and this I'll be the devil's advocate on this one, is like, yeah, with World of Warcraft and shit, like you purchase the game and you get all the previous DLCs, right? But World of Warcraft is also a subscription model. This
So,
game is a free to play model.
And again, I get that, but like, and I'm not saying that you have like, I don't have an issue with
Granted,
this.
Granted, if you want to look at a game that does do it like that as well, Guild Wars 2 is like that. Guild Wars 2, you if I'm correct, and you might be able to correct me on this, Scruffy. If I'm not correct, then let me know. But I'm pretty sure if you purchase the current version of Guild Wars 2, you still have to purchase the previous versions, if I'm not mistaken.
The current version of Guild Wars 2 is free to play, but you can. A lot of times, what they'll do is they'll package their DLCs together after they become like old enough. So they'll have like package deals, and you don't have to buy everything separately, and they'll do a big discount price for them.
Also, too, isn't it like what's the living? What does they call it? The living
living world, or
the living
whatever.
world, or
Living
whatever
story
else,
or whatever.
yeah. Like that's the part that you have, but they also don't take content away from you like other MMOs. Like you're not taking content.
Well, they do. They do actually. Guild Wars 2 100% takes away content. If you don't purchase some of their content when it releases, you don't have access to it.
Right, but what I'm saying is that but they don't take it, like if you do purchase it, you have that content.
Once you purchase it, you have
that's
it.
that's not what Destiny does.
Yeah.
Destiny does where it does the opposite, where like you could still buy this content and then they could just be like, okay, well, no. So again, why people were so happy about Lightfall was because they're bringing back like the Last Whisper, they're bringing back these other guns that essentially what they did was they vaulted them, right? They put them, they said you could get them during this expansion, but then they took it away and now you can't get access to it anymore, even though you own the content. Like,
see, that's not right for like actual in-game content. It's okay for cosmetics and like accessories, stuff like that. You can take that away and never bring it back if you wanted to. But for like an actual like in-game content, guns and like gear and all that stuff,
especially since Destiny has PvP.
Yeah,
and those guns I guarantee were,
especially in that,
at least one or two of them, I'm sure, are probably pretty well PvP oriented. But
yeah, so I don't know.
Right?
It's just it's kind of nuts. But I guess going back to my question, do you think that Destiny has a way forward? Like, do you think that
I'm just curious what Sony paid for. Like, I'm curious where the Sony influence is going to start kicking in, because with this expansion, this is the first expansion that they have put out once they got taken under the Sony umbrella. I don't know if this expansion was like heavily in development before they got bought out.
Sure it was, yeah.
But I am curious to see what the Sony money ends up getting the Destiny community in the future, because this is not a good showcase of that.
It's going to get PlayStation exclusives. It's what's going to get.
A lot
I mean, still, but Sony's still, it's going to get them exclusives, of course, but it also, being under the Sony umbrella, they have a certain standard that they hold games to, it seems like, and this does not seem like that standard.
Well, so a lot of people in the comments, if you read through the negative comments, a lot of people are saying like their thought process is that, and Bungie has said like this is supposed to be like the ending arc, like we are coming to the end of this arc.
Well, that's
and
that's what I was saying when we were talking about it a little bit before the podcast started, was like, I almost feel like Destiny's at its end. Like, I don't think they can go any further. I honestly don't even think that Destiny 2, I don't think they should have continued with Destiny 2. I think they should have just continued with Destiny 1 and then ended it wherever they end it here on Destiny 2. Instead of making an entire another game, they should have just continued with Destiny 1 and brought it to other consoles.
I agree, but they definitely got their money's worth out of Destiny 2. I mean, this
Oh,
game blew
100% they did. Yeah.
more than Destiny 1. So
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but to answer what I'm saying, to answer Bill's question is that people are saying that this is just basically filler content that
until the real
and
expansion comes out.
right, that basically Sony acquired them that during the middle of this, that the Lightfall was actually should have just been another season, and they pulled it and
yeah.
drew it into a full expansion and pulled a majority of the Destiny team over to be to either, because it's not a secret that Bungie is working on a live service game for Sony. Like Sony has said it, Bungie has said it, that isn't being developed. So my thought and the community's thought is basically this was done by a scrap team that is just there to basically say fill this until the void, until we can fill out and get this other game out, like get what we need out, like milk this shit and be done with it. And that's kind of what the community is saying, that this is what it feels like. So that
it very well could be.
To me personally, and this is going to shock Bill. I don't think this has anything to do with Sony. I'm pretty sure this is entirely fucking Bungie being a greedy bastards like they've been being for the last 5 years, right?
Yeah.
This is just entirely Bungie. Personally, to me, this just feels like a Bungie move.
Yeah,
think it has
the only
anything to
reason
do
I
with
brought
Sony.
Sony into it was because I was and I think a lot of people were expecting a jump in quality from
I do agree with you.
pre-Bungie, and this does not represent that.
Yeah.
And again,
I do
scrap
agree
team.
with you though that I think that they're just kind of muddling along to try and milk out as much as they can for Destiny 2 before they can release another one. But it's showing. It's 100% showing that they can't just continue to make the same content that they've been making. Their community's starting to get, to catch on, which
I mean, well, literally,
it's
this
about
is
fucking time. But
this is the fourth boss that has been a rehash. So Callus comes back in this one, and if you're unfamiliar, Callus was the first one. It was the first boss in Destiny 2, like the dude that was like the opulent guy that was all fucking gilded out. Like
it's like the witch. It's like the Witch Queen one, right? It's like the Witch Queen. I think it's what it's called. The Witch Queen
Shadowkeep
expansion. Shadowkeep, whatever it was, where they brought back all the old fucking bosses or all the old baddies and shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
that was Shadowkeep.
That's the most lazy fucking thing I've ever heard. You're just like, hey, we've got all these bad guys that were originally here. Let's just make up a reason why we can bring them back so we don't have to make more content.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just I like the loop. I like the grind. I like all the things that people hate about Destiny. I like that. Let's go figure. But
because you hate story.
It's not. I don't hate story. I just
it's 100 because you hate story.
No,
you don't listen to the story, so you're just like, fuck it.
Actually,
it's the grind. That's what I'm there for.
The games that I played or the expansions that I played in Destiny, I followed that story very close. I thought it was actually a pretty engaging story for those characters and where it was. The thing about it that where I don't understand is that the player base is like, I don't want to do the grind when this is a legitimately it's an MMO. It says it right on their fucking their Destiny thing. It says action MMO. That's what and you've played this game for 8 years. Like, what did you like? You can't complain about a grind when
at least the gameplay is fun. That's the one thing it has going for it.
Let's kind of push it back though. Like, yeah, Destiny and MMOs in general are a grind, right? But we've seen trends recently, especially with Eastern MMOs as well, where it just comes to a point where it's just too much grind. There's too much grind in an MMO where you shouldn't have that much grind. Just like Destiny has a lot of grind just to fill content, essentially, in my opinion.
Dailies, weeklies, stuff like that.
The same shit.
Yeah, it's like World of Warcraft and it's like World of Warcraft and their oh fuck, what would they call them? The Azerite grind, the daily Azerite grind. It was the same shit. There was nothing different.
Yeah.
You were doing the exact same quests, the exact same world quests and everything like that. And that's what people got pissed off about. Not the fact that there was a grind. They were just pissed off that it was the same exact thing over and over and over again with no change.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I don't think that, like, I think that those games where, like, what Bill hit on, like the gameplay and the aspect of what Destiny, like the gameplay is fun. Like playing Destiny is a fun, like the shooting feels good, the weapons feel good or whatever. But I think where they fell short is where those other games, at least made it like worthy of doing the grind to try to get that 1% drop of getting this gear. Like Destiny just kind of like, bleh, like here's your gear. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could be
Is
done
that
with
it
it.
though? Like, is that all
I
you
don't.
think Destiny has to offer to keep going on? Is banking on that the gameplay is fun and
Oh,
the
absolutely. What
grind's
I mean,
fun?
what like
I mean,
this,
that carries a lot of
That's
weight, to be fair.
yeah.
I don't know what I mean. I don't know what else they could like. The story is now getting so
I don't know.
convoluted,
I mean,
so kind
that
of
would be it,
crazy.
I would
So
think.
To me, and maybe it's just because I'm not. I've never really enjoyed Destiny from the point that I started playing it. Yeah, the gameplay was fun for like the first 15, 20 hours, and then it just got monotonous. It was just you were killing the same shit over and over again. And I think that's why what a lot of people have complaints about is the like
That's
enemy
why I can't keep
variety.
up with it. Is it's
Yeah,
fun to a point, and then the variety is not there.
Yep.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah. Those are all valid points. So anyway, so this game mostly negative reviews. Wanted to talk about it because it literally dropped fucking yesterday.
It
I
is the
think, or
worst.
2
It
days
is
ago.
worst rated Destiny DLC so far. It's past Osiris as
Sin,
the worst rated Destiny DLC.
you be
So
real,
far.
Sin. You just want this because it's all like synth wavy, right?
No,
Oh, that sounded very promising.
I mean,
No. No.
I'm not. No, it's not. I just. It's because they do it like I said at the very beginning of this. They do a
Yep.
phenomenal job when it comes to the trailers and all of that stuff. Like they make it look like I'm gonna get
Oh, the
into how
trailer
much-
had me hyped, dude.
Dude, yeah, that's
Shiny
what I'm saying.
lights.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
Warcraft does it. Like they all do it.
Yeah. No,
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
their cinematics and their
Word-
trailers are top notch, I
Word-
will say.
World of Warcraft is great like that. It doesn't mean their fucking expansion were shit. Like
Yeah.
100%. Their team that does like their
God,
cinematics and shit are great.
I want to buy the day before that the cinematics in that game. Oh,
Yeah, I hear, bro.
that
You
looks
can
amazing.
go buy like the 7 other games that it's just ripped from.
If you like this episode of the Patch Notes, don't forget to catch us live every Thursday night right here on our YouTube channel at 10:30 Eastern, or check us out on anchor.fm/prepatch podcasts or wherever podcasts are listened to. Much love.